Hello friends, my name is Shivam from Devops Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
Okay, volume type is called where dot. Okay, this we have not defined. We can define this as well. Okay, I have not defined that, but generally, if we are not defining it, it will be defined as GP2. Okay, by default. But now a new volume type, which is much better, is called GP3 has come in. AWS introduced that, so we can use that. Okay, delete on termination is true or false. So true means once if instance is deleted, this root disk will be deleted. If I say false, it won't be deleted. So if you want to keep this disk, we can make it false. Okay, fine. Now let's define some tags as well. Okay, so tags are key value pairs. Okay, I showed you, I defined certain tag variables. So these are here these are environment, author, description, and I have declared their values as well. So let's use them.
I have a question on the relationship between Terraform.tvars and variable.tf. It's just like how are they connecting to each other? Because it seems that in the because you're putting the hard credentials in the .tvars and then then you're putting definitions in the TF.
Yeah, definitions are there in the variable. We have declared them in this TFVars.
Okay, so okay, so they're okay, so they're they're declared in the T in the TVARs.
Yeah, and we have defined created those variables here. So as I told you, their real power comes into picture when we go into the modules. Okay, where I said here, like environment is dev. Okay, description is Terraform dev server. Let me say that. When we will go into modules, okay, when you study the modules, there what happens is when you can configure these variables based on the environment. Okay, you don't have to, so you are not hard coding it here or here. So there may be multiple instance files, and they will pick up the values from the corresponding Terraform TFVars file based on the environment. Okay, so this becomes more powerful. It gives more powerful power to Terraform, and you use it dynamic. So reuse the same thing. Same software principles.
So they're pulling the Terraform TVARs. That's where they're pulling the actual values from, and then in variables that that TF. There you're just defining what those variables actually are.
Correct. So we just created these variables here, like AMI, variable AMI. In TFVars, we give the value to this AMI. Okay, and in instance, we are using that value. So on the runtime, this where.ami will be replaced by this.
Okay, so okay, so that makes sense. Here, like in tvars, you're like hard, like hard coding the you're putting the actual values, and then in variables you're defining the variables. In instance, you're using both.
Correct. And so, like I said, so like if in the prod, this is you assume that this is dev instance. Okay, I'm using this AMI here. In prod, I don't want to use this AMI. I want to use some different AMI. So my Terraform.tf vars will be what you say, customized according to my production need.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not hard coding it anywhere here. These definitions will remain as it is.
Okay.
All right, but based on my tf vars file, different values will be picked based on the different environment.
Right. Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Okay. So environment, like I said, where dot environment. Okay. From where did it come? From here. This way. So it will be replaced on the runtime. I say, okay, author description. Okay, I think we have done that more or less. Anything else I'm missing on? No, I think we are good.
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Yep, that I will define later on. Okay, good. So in this example, as compared to our basic example, what we have done is we have defined these values variably. Okay, we have not hard coded it here. Okay, if you will see in our basic example, I will just open it for you once again so that you can compare that. Instance.tf. I'm just opening it in Notepad. You will see that the resource which we hard coded all the values here itself, T2 micro DevOps. Whereas here we have just defined the variable names which will pick up values from Terraform.tf vars. Additionally, we have customized this instance some more. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm missing something. I have to define in which VPC and subnet this will go. Okay, I will say where dot subnet ID. Okay, so I'm defining in which VPC and subnet it will go. I have defined the specific size for my disk. If I leave it by default for Linux, it AWS automatically defines as 8 GB, whereas I have given here size of 50 GB. Volume type, AWS by default, if you don't define it here, it will take as GP2. I have defined it GP3. This remains by default as 2 only. Okay, let's go ahead and create this instance. And we'll take a break after this, a short break. But let's create it first. So first command, Terraform, init, and even you can run sorry, let's see. Okay, so initialization is done. Let's go ahead with plan. Oh, we have not defined, and so what happens is I have used some variable which I have not defined. So that's why it's asking me some value. Somewhere I've used name. Variable name, root module input variable. I removed that. Right, so that's key name, this size. Region name is not set. Okay. Region name. Okay. So what happened is I have defined a variable called region name, but I have not set its value. It's asking for variable dot name. Uh, should work this time.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Sometimes it caches some values which even you have removed. Okay, so now you will see we are at the same point. Okay, now we have defined it variable wise. Result will be same. Okay, but this is using the actual power of Terraform. Okay, by using the variables. Okay, we have so apart from creating that resource, it will now we have added these tags as well to it. Okay, our root device, block device, that is this root disk, we have given it certain volume size and volume type. Otherwise, earlier it was taking it as default. So now I'm going to go ahead with Terraform Apply. Now, this is not a very good thing, but if you are very confident, though you should always you should not do that almost any time, but if you are very confident, you can just say auto approve. Okay, so it will not ask you that question, yes or no. Okay, it will directly go ahead and will either create or delete those resources. And as I said, this is a overconfidence kind of thing, which may backfire. Okay, so you will see that it has directly started creating the resource.
In Terraform Plan, is it like a dry run before?
It's
like
a dry run. It is dry run. So, Miss, what it is telling you that okay, I have connected with AWS, and whatever configuration you have given me in the instance.tf and whatever provider you have given me, according to that, I can create this particular thing for you. So right now, for demo purpose, we are just creating only one resource. After break, I will add one more resource to it. Okay, so I will show you how it shows all those details. So now it will start showing multiple resources it will create. So yeah, it's a dry run in short.
will it
actually
okay, so will it show the errors too? Like if something like we haven't defined a variable or
yeah, so in fact it will do that. There is a good command called Terraform Validate. Okay, miss it doesn't come into that life cycle. So let me open a notepad. So command is Terraform Validate. Okay, you can run this even before running Terraform init. This will basically check all the syntax of your code in that means for through all the files. Okay, so at least it will check that syntactically your code is correct. Okay, but yes, in plan it will actually connect with AWS and it will give you any errors if it cannot create any of the resources, or if it is facing some issue as far as AWS is concerned.
okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Okay, so now our instance is created. Let's check that out. Okay, so you'll see we have now created this. This is the earlier terminated one which we terminated. This new instance has been created. T2 micro. Okay, if we will see the storage space, it is 50 gig because we defined it. Okay, and it's of type GP3. Okay, because we defined it. Otherwise, it could be GP2. Fine, guys. I think let's take a break here, short break here. Admin, so break is for 15 to 20 minutes. Generally, how long the break is? Guys, if you can tell me.
I mean, that's up to you, because sometimes it can be 10, it can be 15, it can be 20. It's up to you on how long you want the break to be.
Okay, let's check for 20 minutes. Break for 20 minutes, and in India, I have it's around 10 to in the evening, 10 to p.m. So around 10:20, 10:22 p.m. we will meet again. All right, 20 minutes from now.
Yeah. Could you put a timer, like or a clock? Because usually we have this. Our trainers usually put up a clock, so we all can keep track.
I'm working with these guys for first time, so I'm not sure. Let me just check with them. If possible, I will do that. Okay.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
We created this everybody is back, I hope. So I'm moving ahead then. So we have created this instance, okay, but the thing is that we have not defined the necessary security group or the security rules for this particular server. So it's a Linux server, so it has to have a rule which says that SSH access is allowed to this server from outside world, from the internet. Okay, you will say in the security inbound rules, I haven't defined that. Okay, so inbound rules say something like it's going to itself this particular security group. So it has to be very specific. It should say that it's port 22 should be open. Okay, so that we can communicate with this particular server. Okay, so if I try to connect with this server, I have the key. Give me a moment. It's the Devops It's the key. Yeah. So let's try to connect to this server. I'm just using a bash terminal to try connecting with this server. I need to transfer this file here. Right. I now try to connect to this server. This is EC2, am I right? And the server is it. It's Amazon 2. So the EC2 dash user at will not be able to connect to this server, because this particular server, we don't have any rules defined or security groups defined for this particular server. So what we will do is, using Terraform, we will define the security groups for this particular server, so that in that particular rule we will define, okay, that port, we will actually open port 22 so that we can communicate with this particular instance. Now we created an AWS instance earlier. Now we will create another resource, okay, which will be AWS security group. EC2 ST, something like that. Okay, and we will define all the rules. I'm just going to take it from my existing one. So how we will define? We define inbound and outbound rules. Okay, so see here. Okay, for any security group we defined inbound rules and outbound rules. Okay, so in inbound rules we will say that we are allowing port 22. Let me just change it here. Okay, we have just given the name to this security group, EC2SG or something like security. We'll say port 22, 3389 is used for Windows, whereas for Linux we use port 22. Okay, and we are saying that we are allowing all type of traffic to this port. So means anyone from the internet can connect to this port, which is not really secure way, but for the demo purpose I'm doing that. In AWS there are ways of defining the security for these kind of things. And egress, that is outbound, generally we can keep it open for all, so that's not a problem, because outbound traffic is going from within AWS to the outer world, so we can keep it open for everyone. Okay, so I have defined this additional resource here. Now you see that we already created one resource, we ran that, which created our AWS instance, but this AWS instance is not, we cannot reach that because it doesn't have the required security groups or the port open. Now we have created this security group for it. Let's attach, before we run this again, let's attach this security group with this particular instance. Okay, so it's properties VPC security group IDs. Okay, which take a list actually. So this is now here we are using a different user variable type, which is list variable type. Okay, underscore security group dot EC2SG dot, we say it's ID. This is how we define. So this particular resource, first it will be created and then it will be associated with this instance, so that port 22 gets open for this particular resource.
I didn't catch, what does the resource terminology mean?
So resource terminology is as I said, in Terraform, everything is a resource. Okay, so now if I show you here, EC2, like we created an instance, EC2 instance, that's a resource as per Terraform definition. We need to create a security group, okay, which we need to associate with EC2 server, but when we are defining in terms of Terraform, it will be a separate resource. For example, okay, now I want to create a database server, an RDS service for AWS. That will be a different separate AWS, separate resource as per Terraform.
Okay, that makes
okay, so got it? So let's run it. Now I will not use this. I will just say Terraform. Let me show you this command, Terraform Validate. I was talking about earlier. So it will validate whether your syntax is proper or not, whatever you have defined in all your files. So it will validate all your files, whichever is there in this second folder. Then I say Terraform plan. Let's do the plan.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.